Silence makes you smarter. In the silence, a process called neurogenesis occurs in the brain. In the hippocampus, associated with memory and learning, growth of new brain cells is stimulated. So technically, silence has literal mind-altering effects. I'm going to talk to you about silence, the science behind it, how you can use it as a tool, and the impact it can have. Unfortunately, our lives have less and less room for silence in them. Instant communication, telephones, screens. All of these create an environment where stimulation is constant, expected. Think of iPad kids. These are kids who were born around 2010 or later who use iPads so often, they appear to be addicted to them. Just like those kids, broader society is addicted to distractions. It's just more subtle. Checking that notification while you're out with your friends. Responding to one more work email at the dinner table. Watching a few TikToks on the toilet. We've normalized it. We don't even notice it anymore. I had a personal experience with this constant need for stimulation. Last summer, I went to Girl Scout camp, and we had to choose how to spend an hour of our free time. Others around me suggested cookie decorating, treasure hunting, even ziplining, while all I asked for was an hour of silence, for contemplation and reflection. The fact that those kids wanted stimulation and I just wanted silence gave me valuable insight into our generation. Once we actually step away from all the noise and immerse ourselves in silence, the brain does something fascinating. According to a study by the National Institutes of Health, when deprived of external stimuli to respond to, the brain focuses its attention inward, toward internal brain activity. Parts of the brain, like the medial prefrontal cortex and posterior cingulate cortex, become more active. The medial prefrontal cortex is involved in a variety of cognitive, social, and emotional functions: decision-making, emotion and stress regulation, judgment of the self and others. Because this part of the brain becomes more active during silence, we can say that these brain functions become enhanced during silence. It can help you make more balanced decisions. The posterior cingulate cortex is another part of the brain involved in emotional processing. However, it plays another vital role: self-reflection. Think of it like emotional maintenance, literal self-care. The fact that the brain seems to single out a single mental process during silence highlights its importance. Silence drives self-reflection. It unlocks restorative brain processes. Now, there are a variety of factors that can influence a person's endurance to silence. Attention span, mental health, and personality all affect how much silence we can take. But what I'm especially interested in is personality. Simply put, this means introversion or extroversion. Many introverts, like myself, find solace in silence, seclusion, and solitude. According to a study by D.L. Johnson and colleagues, introverts and extroverts react very differently to silence. Why? Structural differences in the brain. Introverts have increased blood flow in their frontal lobes, making them more likely to engage in thought and reflection. On the other hand, extroverts can be more impulsive with their decisions, take less time to think things through. Introverts will seek out silence more often to ponder and reflect. Extrovert brains don't need that. Another brain difference is levels of cortical arousal. Now this is really exciting. A study by Veena Kumari and others found introverts have higher levels of cortical arousal. That's basically alertness. This makes them more sensitive to environmental stimuli. They need time away from others to lower those levels. Silence enables this. This by no means suggests extroverts can't or shouldn't expose themselves to silence. While introverts may have a greater natural attraction to it, extroverts can still enjoy silence. In fact, I believe they should try to incorporate it into their lives. But if they do, what does it look like? Surely they can't be expected to just sit, twiddling their thumbs in a twisted form of torture. One of my favorite and most re-energizing pastimes is going on long walks. No music. With just my thoughts to keep me company, I can self-reflect. Another activity that can be done in the silence is reading. Regardless of genre, reading has countless benefits to the brain. A 2023 study by the University of Cambridge found that just 30 minutes of reading a day enhances memory, reduces stress, and improves cognitive functioning. In 2025, The Guardian found that the average person spends over 3 hours a day on their phones. I think we can find 30 minutes a day to read. A final activity, which I cannot recommend enough, is writing. Poetry, descriptive writing, and informative articles all help organize your thoughts in silence. Creative writing is a great way to connect with yourself. It enables both self-reflection and self-analysis. To prioritize self-reflection, try keeping a journal or diary. This offers valuable insights into the self, utilizing silence effectively. Self-reflection is about understanding yourself. Just like reading or writing, it's considered an activity in and of itself that can be done in the silence. I like to classify this analytical type of self-reflection as introspection. Introspection is focusing on your thoughts and feelings to understand why you think and behave the way you do. It can be done while walking, reading, or writing. Introspection enhances the benefits of silence by raising the volume of our own internal thoughts. The result? Improved emotional and cognitive well-being. Some people find they can't connect with introspection. A major reason for this is the society we live in. We've been conditioned to seek out a highly stimulated, fast-paced lifestyle. We don't have time to stop and smell the roses. We're constantly seeking to check the next box, and in doing so, we lose sight of ourselves. But with introspection, there is no progress bar. You have to be intentional to commit to self-reflection. This leads to the final reason why some people might be hesitant to self-reflect. They're afraid of what they might find. That's understandable, as we've all got our own inner demons. But by examining our own vulnerabilities through introspection, we can grow. Once you start to self-reflect, you're no longer a stranger to yourself. You find a friend within. This reduces loneliness, reduces stress, provides companionship. Don't confuse solitude for loneliness. Loneliness isn't chosen. It's draining. It's depressing. On the other hand, solitude is self-imposed, constructive, beneficial. Self-reflection is a time for solitude. Don't avoid it by mistaking it for loneliness. Through self-reflection, you become more comfortable with yourself. Because of this, you can form closer relationships with other people. The bonds you share with your friends and family will grow stronger. On a broader scale, if enough friends and families choose to incorporate silence into their lives, whole communities can be made better. We understand everyone has both admirable and undesirable qualities because we see that in ourselves. This creates a community which is more compassionate and understanding. And then, if enough communities become like this, the power of silence can change the world. As everyone globally understands themselves, they collectively become more self-aware and empathetic individuals. Can you imagine that kind of society? And it can all start with you. Start with just 15 minutes of silence a day, 15 minutes of reading, of writing. Introspection leads to success. Watch in awe as you explore the unfathomable depths of the greatest mystery on earth, yourself. When we choose silence in this world of noise, we don't have to fill it. We can let it fill our minds and our hearts.